Question here is to date or not to date. I would advise you to make sure you watch until the end, because I'm going to be sharing very, very important information as regards the services that we offering here and how we're going to navigate through life in 2023 as the Ruzhoff family. So all my Ruzhoff family members, thank you so much. And if you're new here, you're definitely welcome to join this family. Kindly subscribe, turn on the notification button so you never miss out on anything, because we normally also go live here where you can get to interact live with me and the entire community. So to date or not to date, how do I come about this? Like I said, of all of you have been following me on social media, apropos social media, I go by the name of Ruzhoff on all social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. So if you're looking for me there, if you want to see some fun content, some of the things that I don't share here on YouTube, just head over to my socials, right? And then you can also DM me and ask me anything there. So there's this gentleman that had been engaging me like for a week. For all of you, like I said, who know me, I always try to answer all my DMs. It's a lot, but I think it would be very rude not to answer DMs, especially considering that my journey here is all about social empowerment. So I make sure to answer all DMs so I don't miss out on anything, on someone that needs assistance, on someone that wants to reach out to me, on someone that just maybe needs someone to talk, because we're all about social empowerment. So this gentleman engages me like for a whole week, and I'm thinking, what in the world does he want from me? Because I don't just get also DMs that are focused on social empowerment, but I also get DMs of people who want to date me, who ask me if I'm single, where do you come from? It's a lot, you know, but that's what I signed up for. So I'm thinking, where is this leading? Because he wasn't clear. So he watched one of my YouTube videos, like he had been watching my videos, and then he's like, yeah, I just watched this video. And again, I've also read you're a social worker. Do you offer counseling? And I'm thinking, why is he asking that? I'm like, so and then he goes, what exactly is social? What exactly do you do? So I give him my business WhatsApp number, explain to him in a voice message. But of course, with my work experience, I noticed there's something more deeper than the questions he was asking me, commenting about my dance videos and the videos with my kids. So I was like, it's really been nice chatting with you, but I think there's something you really want to talk to me about. And because I have so many people that I have to deal with and answer, I would advise you to just go to the point. Just tell me, please, what it is you'd like us to talk about, you know? Just feel free and talk to me. So this gentleman goes like, this is very tough. This is something very personal. But if you don't mind, I need your advice. And I'm like, advice as regards what? So he tells me, like in one sentence very briefly, and then I'm like, oh, okay. If you have time, I'm going to offer you an appointment, then we can call and talk in detail, because I noticed that's something that was really biting at him, at his soul. So I give him the appointment. He calls me, it was in the evening, because as you all know, I have a formal job besides doing this social empowerment thing. So I normally only get time actually in the evenings or weekends, you know. So I talked to him after my work, after like dinner in the evening. It was like, I think 22 p.m. Uganda time. So he calls me, and of course we start with small talk, because I didn't want to scare him. Like, he was very uncertain, very scared of talking about it. So before I even tell you what this was, right now I'm sharing my client's story. My client's story. Very important for me is that, you know, it is with his permission. When you share anything with me, which I'll be talking about at the end, it is very important for you to watch. It is confidential. I am a social worker, and under the social work codex, what happens between me and the client remains between us. So this gentleman, after this session, I would call it a counseling session, is like, so I told him, you know, like, you've watched my videos, you got to discover this and that because of, you know, my journey here. So would it be okay for you if I go to share this, of course, leaving out all details about you? And he goes like, absolutely, because I have many people in my circles who are going through the same, and they would appreciate this kind of information, even knowing there's someone they can reach out to. So very, very important, it is with his permission. Going back to my journey, part of my social work is to go into dialogue with people, to advise, to guide people, to navigate through different life situations. But it also has a lot to do with law, like, because I've worked and work in different sectors, but I won't go so deep into that. So yes, counseling is absolutely legitimate, that someone gets counseling services from me. So during our conversation, like, he gives me a bit of background info from him. He's an engineer student at Makerere University, that is Uganda, East Africa. He's passionate about many things, also social media. He loves also YouTube and all that. That's how he discovered my videos. So I'm like, yeah, so it's a bit late. Please go on and tell me, what is it you'd like us to talk about? So his issue was basically, he told me, I'm a university student, excelling. I come from not like a very rich background of family. So my focus, I have dreams, I have targets, I have goals. I want to excel at my studies. I want to graduate. I want to venture in ABC. And that's right now what I'm really focused on. Problem is, I have friends who like are living a different life. Like, if you've been to university in Uganda or West Africa, I believe everywhere, there's also this factor of the social life. Like, all his friends are dating, are having casual sex, you know what I mean? Like, you go dancing, pick up a girl, pick up a boy, that kind of thing. And he told me the problem is right now he's not dating, and he hasn't been dating because he honestly spends a lot of time focusing on his studies, and then the side issues like YouTube and so on, which is also very important to him. Unlike his peers who spend their free time, like, dating and going out. And he told me, I'm under so much pressure, so much pressure, that I've gotten like in a kind of depression. It's affecting my studies, it's affecting my concentration. I'm getting so ashamed. I don't feel comfortable going out with my friends because they will make fun of me. And we talked about, I had to also go straight and ask him if there's any biological, of course, problem with him, because that is what I talk about. We know it is normal that someone can be impotent, maybe, or maybe he's a boy, but maybe he likes fellow boys. It could be anything. So like, we talked deeply, and he told me, no, I'm straight and all that, and I would love to date, but it's absolutely not fitting into my lifestyle right now and what my focus and goals are. Like, it was really, really eating at his soul. Like, it was very, very sad. So our counseling, basically, that was like the initial counseling. So we talked about it, and when he was talking to me about it, he told me, I've been to a counselor before, like, that really jacked me. I was like, wow, like, it's something that's been on for a long time, and I was proud that he took it seriously to go to a counselor. But he told me when I went to a counselor, he didn't feel comfortable going to that side, like the dating part and the intimate things that I'm about to tell you. He didn't feel comfortable. Then I asked him, why did you feel comfortable talking to me, a stranger that he just found on YouTube and social media? And he told me, yeah, I've been watching your videos and looking at your things, and somehow, I don't know, but I feel comfortable. Like, there's something about you that made me feel at ease and take the initiative to contact you. I feel comfortable talking to you about this. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead. So we talk about his issue. I asked him what his wishes would be. I wanted to know if he's actually interested in dating or not, what would make that easier for him. So of course, for me, it was very clear to set out for him, you don't date because of peer pressure. You don't do anything whatsoever in life actually because other people are doing it, because they're forcing you to do it. So we had to go through, that, like, the whole situation. How do you go about it? I gave him tips deeply, but I can't go into that because definitely we'll be having another counseling session here on YouTube, which I don't want to do. And for anyone that's probably going through that, I would advise you, if you're having the exact same problem, like, you came up with other issues that we talked about, which I don't want to delve into for reasons of privacy. But for example, one of the things that was important to set out for him is focus on the things that are important to you. You'll have time to date, And if you're not someone that is too casual dating or sleeping around, you don't have to do it because your friends are doing it. You have to set your boundaries. You have to set it very clear. But if these friends are making fun of you, if these friends are making you so uncomfortable, and even after talking to them about it, they still make you this uncomfortable that you end up feeling depressed, then maybe it's time to reevaluate that friendship and get rid of friends that are not serving you well, because a friend should be able to accept that and respect you. If you reach a point where your friends are like, oh, let's even go for a coffee, and you're uncomfortable because they're making nasty jokes about you, making up jokes about your potence, if you're impotent or not, if you're functioning, like, I don't want to go into it, like, really very derogatory and disrespectful. So maybe it's time to think about getting some of those people in your life. If you really want to date and maybe you have issues hindering you, you don't know how to navigate it, that's something that we can get to talk about. But those are some of the tips that I gave him. And I told him, at no point whatsoever do you make any life decision based on what your friends expect of you, based on what your friends think is hip and woke, and don't do that. And to express it also very clearly, it is very important to get counseling or therapy. Never feel ashamed to do that, because I really am trying not to be careful, not to reveal so much about him. But we also talked about the issue of, for example, Makerere or many universities also in Uganda have had many issues of suicide, unfortunately. And he told me those are some of the reasons, the pressures that we go through. Like, we know in Uganda, if you're to date a university girl, you must be a bit financially stable. And where do you get that money if you're not from a rich family, you're not having an extra job, So these girls also want boyfriends that have money, that will take them out for dinner, wine and dine, take them on holidays. So the pressure is real. And he told me, that's the reason actually he said, Madam, I would really love you to share that if you say it's okay, because there are many people going through this. I know friends that are totally depressed, like they're not even doing their exams, they're not excelling because they don't know how to go through this. Because there's also the shame factor. Like, you're thinking my friends are going to be like, my peers are going to be like, what do you mean you don't want to sleep around? What do you mean you don't want to date multiple girls, Which is very absurd though. And yeah, we talked about that. And while we were concluding, he told me, oh my God, I'm trying not to reveal so much about him. Yeah, so we got to other issues also, why he's probably not dating, besides being busy and focusing on his studies. And he requested me, please, can I remain, how do I say that in English? Can you go on to offer me this service, because I would also need advice on this and that. I don't want to go into it, not that someone discovers his identity. I have to be very careful. But like, we talked in depth, and then there are so many other issues that came up. And so he's basically right now my client, like I'm guiding him step by step through these issues. And like I said, while we're ending the call, after the lengthy conversation, we decided, or he gave me the permission to share this information, this very personal information that we had in our counseling. I've cut it really short. I've tried very hard not to reveal so much about him, because who knows, maybe his best friend watches this and knows who that is. So I'm very careful. Like I said, watch this video to the end. Why did I say that? Like I announced on all my social media channels, please make sure you subscribe. Follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. That's where I update most of the information on what's going to be happening. I'll try and see if I can post the flyer in the comment section. That's going to be tough, but I'll try. So this year I'm offering services. Which services am I offering this year? Due to demand, I'm offering services pertaining to coaching, and that is to do with coaching, counseling as regards work, as regards career, as regards business, social empowerment. So if you need to talk, if there's an issue, my timetable is already full. I'm already getting lots of people who need this consultation. So definitely we see that the need is there. And what makes me happy is that people are taking the initiative for their well-being, to make sure that they get help and not just stay in such a situation until it becomes helpless. So definitely 2023, I'm offering coaching and counseling as regards work, career, business, social empowerment, and then life and social issues. That includes marriage, parenting, divorce, and navigating life, basically. Because like I said, as a social worker and someone that has worked in different diverse sectors, I'm very competent and conversant, and that is my field of work, basically. So that's what I'll be offering you this year. I'll be offering mentorships. And then, of course, very many people have been very interested in immigration and integration. It's something that I actually had not planned, but it just happened. So I'll be offering tips as regards immigration, integration, and then step-by-step guidance how to go about it. So how do I offer these services? The mode of offering these services or delivering these services is virtual. It could be a phone call, video, it could be Zoom, but also face-to-face, in person, because definitely one of the other services that I'm offering 2023 is speaking engagements. So if you're watching right now and you're an organization, you're a company, you need a speaking guest, you have a speaking engagement for me, I will gladly do that. It could be virtual, it could be face-to-face, as regards any of the topics that I've talked about: parenting, marriage, navigating through life, child protection law, counseling, social work, coaching, and mentorship. For the contacts, I'll put an email address and a WhatsApp number, and I would kindly only advise you to contact me if you're interested in any of these services. If you're looking to date or get personal, just DM me on my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, under the name Ruzhoff, and we can talk. But otherwise, the contacts that I get to share here are strictly for these services that are going to be offered. For all the people that have contacted me so far, for all my clients so far, I appreciate you so much, and makes me very, very happy. I could briefly tell you the moment I finished chatting with this gentleman, I had tears in my eyes. I felt so happy because doing this journey, I decided to do it because I want to do something that I've always loved to do, serving. And in that moment, when I finished having this conversation and hearing him and hearing how positive I was, looking forward to life, I felt so happy, and I knew I was doing everything right. So looking forward to growing with you, looking forward to taking this social empowerment journey a notch higher and all getting better in our lives. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video with all your friends and other people that may need it. And please stay faithful to the Ruzhoff family, because we look forward to growing together. Until next time, my lovelies, I love you.